moving off of, I mean, some of these leg attacks that we've been hitting. Another one, like I know I mentioned the high crotch being one of my favorite attacks, and it's one of the probably, I mean, between high crotch, single, double leg. I mean, those are the three main attacks you're going to see, obviously. But high crotch is one that I had a lot of success with in my career, and due to that, I also found myself in a position where I would hit a lot of fireman's carries, where the setups are usually the same, but sometimes you can end up in a position where, I mean, you can end up scoring some more points. Freestyle, and freestyle, you can get some more points there. And folk style, you can put somebody on their back, as opposed to sometimes in your high crotch, maybe you only get your 2-point takedown or 3 in college. And so it's just good to have another option there. Again, sometimes you need that throw, so it's good to have it. So similar type of setup here that we would have for our high crotch. It's pretty much like Tony's just giving me this thumb block, or just giving me space really, but pulls away this single leg. Again, we're trying to get to that single leg first, but he pulls that away. I don't want to get stuck trying to chase it if it's not there. So instead, we're just going to change basically the direction of the hand that I had attacking. My hand is basically going from here. No, pull your leg back. And then it's just switching over to the other leg. All right, like similar to what I was saying before. It's not shoot, come back, and then shoot again. I'm just continuing to move here, but I was aimed here, and then my arm just slips over to the other side. All right, and it's going to be one of those things, again, building that muscle memory where you don't have to think about it. You just realize, okay, that one leg's not there anymore. Where Tony, again, he's either just pulling it back or he could be thumb blocking too. But I'm here, that leg's gone. All right, I recognize I have to switch this up and go in a different direction. So as I was mentioning before, we could go straight to our high crotch here and finish just our standard high crotch. Or if we need some more points, we can go to a fireman's carry here. Now, standard fireman's carry, oftentimes when we get to this position, where I have the leg and I have the arm, oftentimes we switch directions and kind of go back to where we came from. Not exactly, but to an extent, I stop going forward and I start going back the other direction. There's some details on that I'm not going to touch on right now. But for this specific one, you can come back. For this specific one here, since I'm already moving forward pretty aggressively because I've already taken one shot and I'm kind of continuing it on to a second shot, I have a lot more momentum going into Tony here. So it's going to be a little bit harder to just stop and then go back the other direction. So because of that, we're going to kind of change how we finish this. So without having the actual arm here, essentially, as opposed to going back where I came from, I'm going to bring my leg through, and we're going to continue going forward. The throw is essentially the same, but we're going to just continue our momentum forward. It's actually, I think it looks a little bit cooler, this one, but it's going to result with the same thing, though. So I like to have my inside tie here again. Doesn't really matter. It's just a matter of I need Tony to pull that leg back. Remember, if I can get to the leg, I'll get there, but he's going to pull that back. I can't get there. I recognize that. I continue my momentum forward. My head comes through. I got a nice tight grip on this arm. This also works really well if I was trying to get to my high crotch and he just kind of locks on me here. So, okay, then we'll go that way. My leg will continue to come through, and we're just going to continue to go through that way. It's kind of tough to do this slow. So here, rotate my hips, then finish on top. So essentially my motion here is I'm shooting. I miss the first leg. I'm at the second leg. I have the arm trapped. Step through, and my hips rotate, and then we throw the leg. It's important we throw the leg off at the end. So, and here, Tony, you might have the other leg forward, or maybe I pulled it forward so that leg was here. Step, gone, here, turn the hips, rotate through. Notice I'm popping my hips at the end just to make sure that we go all the way through. So one more time. Again, I don't want to stop my momentum as I'm already going forward and then try to come back this way. It's not wrong, but I just think it's a little bit harder. So I shoot, disappear here, and then finishing on top. So that's just, I mean, it's kind of a modified fireman's carry a little bit, but if you've watched any freestyle, you'll see people do it that way. But again, my momentum's already going so much forward that I want to keep going that way, as opposed to stopping and going back the other way. So that's our fireman's carry.